cryptocurrency.
Like a couple Bitcoins.
Money,
Hold up on my Nakamoto.
Hello. Welcome, everybody, to the Blockchain Dynamics Show.
All right.
How's it going, Woody?
Doing great. How are you, Brandon?
I am doing fantastic. We are here. It is episode number 69 of the Blockchain Dynamics Show.
That's right.
What's the date here? Sunday, July 2nd, 2017.
Yeah, and show is sponsored by Cryptopia.
That's right. www.cryptopia.co.nz. Check them out.
Yep, they're getting a lot of...
Good vibes, good reviews.
Yeah, people are excited.
Yeah, people are into Cryptopia lately, as well they should be. It's a great exchange platform with a lot of interesting coins. Just a lot of interesting stuff going down at Cryptopia. They also have a ton of other features, things like forums, mining, fully featured Trollbox.
Even term deposits.
Yep, really nice customization of things like your 2FA. That appeals to me.
They're also home of the New Zealand tethered dollar.
Yeah, that's right. They got the NZDT cryptocurrency. That's pretty boss.
And we will be giving away 10,000 of their in-house cryptocurrency dots somewhere in the show.
It's true. We got a 10,000 dot giveaway today. Those dots are hot, man. People want the dots.
Dots are hot.
I don't blame them. Alrighty, so we, as usual, are going to kick off the show this week with news.
That's right. There's nothing like some good news.
We love the news. And we're going to start it off with a little Cryptopia news. This week, DOT has announced, or Cryptopia, I guess, has announced that the cryptocurrency DOT is going to be swapping over to a Waves token.
Right.
Sweet move.
Yep, they were having some, I guess, maybe 51% vulnerabilities like other proof-of-work chains have been as well. And so they kind of are taking a really good step to prevent that from happening again. Some side effects of this are that I don't believe any more dots going to be produced. So it kind of got capped there, I think.
Oh, right. So where DOT was previously going to mine for another couple years or whatever, it's now. Would it be a proof of stake, or is it just a fixed supply, I wonder?
I believe it's just a fixed supply.
Nice. Cool.
Maybe Hex can make sure we're not wrong on that.
All right, very cool stuff. So a totally understandable move if you think about what has been going on with proof-of-work chains. A lot of them have been suffering lately from these 51% attacks, or just general chain insecurity because people can lease enough hash power to easily kind of mess with some of these smaller chains.
Yeah.
So yeah, very cool move there. Really interested to see how this plays out for him. Kind of cool to see the choice of Waves too, instead of obviously instead of Ethereum or Ethereum Classic or something like that. I think going with Waves is an interesting choice.
I'm fairly certain that their NZDT is also a Waves token.
Oh, okay.
So maybe they already had some experience with deploying those.
I wonder how Waves is handling the blockchain congestion issue, because we know Ethereum's obviously been struggling lately, especially with all the ICOs flooding the network. I'm curious to see how the Waves platform would handle that kind of thing, because they do get a lot of just general activity from all of the tokens that people are generating on Waves all the time.
Sure.
Right? People are constantly generating these tokens.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to how the network supports that, or how it's going to scale eventually, because you can imagine a world where people are just generating hundreds of tokens a day.
So either nobody's making a stink about the congestion on the Waves blockchain.
True.
So either they haven't hit that level of usage that it's going to be a problem, or they're dealing with the scaling better. And I imagine it's not just one of those answers, but a combination.
Of course. All right, interesting stuff. We'll see what happens there with DOT moving over to the Waves blockchain. Next up in the news this week, Vitalik dies.
No, there's some. I see. The funny thing was, I saw the proof of life thing. I never heard the rumor.
Yeah, that's funny.
I don't really get why you would ever believe a rumor about somebody being dead in the first place.
Yeah, just some random. Yeah, coming from an internet forum or something. I guess it started on an internet forum. I'm not sure where this one came from. Probably 4chan or something. But the story is that a rumor started circulating that Vitalik, of course, the Ethereum founder, had died. And so he posted like a proof of life using an Ethereum block hash or something.
Yep.
And yeah, I heard about the proof of life thing long before I heard about the actual rumor of him dying. So I don't think it was
It's a cool. He pointed out that that's a nice use for blockchains. I think
That's true.
I think I agree.
Yep. So yes, Vitalik is doing just fine.
Excuse me. In other news, might as well have a little ICO news in here. This week, It's Tezos that started their ICO. They're bold enough to do the uncapped ICO at this point in time. So, God knows how that'll end.
Well, we know how it started. They've already, as of this broadcast, they've pulled in 32,000 Bitcoin and 132,000 Ethereum, a total of a cool 115 million.
With about 11 days left to go.
Sweet Jesus. I wonder if it had started because Ethereum's been a little bit down the past couple of weeks. I wonder if they had started it 2 weeks earlier, kind of at the peak of the frenzy, if they would have had an even bigger start.
I wonder.
We'll never know. Already with 115 million, there's still about 11 days left on the crowdfund for that. It's crazy stuff, man.
Yeah. I think I mentioned it to you this off air, and I'll just say it again. I'm wondering how you can really utilize $115 million worth of Bitcoin in
As a
an
startup.
advantageous way. It seems like that'd be a real challenge.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting kind of the turn that this all has taken. I think most people realize even in a traditional startup environment, none of these companies start up with $115 million. That's a huge amount of capital, for what is essentially a white paper, mostly at this point. Really, really crazy stuff, I guess, but we'll see what happens there. Tezos does have an interesting idea. I'll give him credit on that.
Oh yeah, I actually think the project's excuse me, pretty interesting, I guess. And I don't have experience with large projects, so I'm literally curious. Is there a big difference between what a project can accomplish with, let's say, $50 million funding versus $100 million funding, and what do you get with that extra $50 million aside from higher paychecks or something?
Yeah, exactly. And that's something that has always kind of been weird for me about these open-ended ICOs. It's just the idea of, oh, hey, this is the project that we want to deliver, and we're going to do it with whatever the amount of money you give us is, right?
Yeah. And presumably they do it better when you give them more.
Right, exactly. How does that work? Exactly. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but they're going for it, and they're going to raise a shitload, obviously, so we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, we'll get to watch it all in all its spectacular glory.
That is the Tezos ICO starting this week.
And then there was a little bit of an Ethereum Classic news coming out this week. I don't actually know much about this Classic Ether wallet, so tell me, Brando.
The Classic Ether wallet service has been compromised. Apparently somebody social engineered their domain name provider account and redirected the wallet service to essentially loot transactions. So if you tried to make a legitimate transaction, it would divert it to the person who had compromised the domain.
Bummer.
So yeah, pretty nasty little exploit that they cooked up there. Of course, it was revealed relatively quickly. I'm sure there were a few people that got burned by it. The nice thing about it is that your wallet can only be compromised if you were sending transactions through the spoofed domain. So even if you had a Classic Ether wallet,
I imagine if you looked up at your address bar, you would see the spoofed. Yeah, or would it look normal up there?
I think it probably would have looked normal because he was able to get control of the parent domain.
He actually had, yeah, okay,
Right.
I'm following you.
So yeah, that is unfortunate. But as long as you didn't use the service, your coins are still safe, which is good news. And just goes to show the general risks of using some of these third-party wallets. This kind of thing, I mean, in theory, could happen to a lot of these web-based wallets, I think.
Yeah.
And just goes to show it's always nice to actually just keep control of your keys, or sometimes even run a full node, although that's not realistic for a lot of these chains.
It's not realistic for a lot of them, but it's going to be the ideal security situation.
Yep.
The most responsible one, I guess.
Yeah. Because really, this would have been a tough one to protect yourself from.
Yeah. Yeah, because the service itself was trustworthy.
It seemed to be. Yeah, I don't have any evidence that it's not.
Huh. Bummers.
Sad stuff. So yeah, that's the news there. If you have a Classic Ether wallet, just be careful and wait for instruction, I guess, on how to safely recover your funds.
All right.
Alrighty, that is going to do it for the news this week. Another fun week in the news, but as usual, a lot of the action is in the markets.
Yeah, we like those numbers.
Markets. All right, we're mixing up the markets segment a little bit this week. we decided to try and take a dive into some of the smaller market caps. Usually we just take a look at the top 100.
Yeah.
This week we're getting crazy. We have a glimpse at not just the top 100 coins, but we also have a look at the top 100 through 200 coins, the top 200 through 300,
Right.
and the top 300 through 400. So basically we're going to be taking a look at how the top 400 coins are doing lumped together in 100 coin increments, I guess.
We'll see if there's any difference between them or what's going on.
Any patterns, any trends. That's good stuff.
So we'll start it off like we normally do with the top 100.
Already in the world of the top 100 coins, of course, you got to start with our old pal Bitcoin. Bitcoin is up. No, it's not.
Excuse
not
us.
close.
Bitcoin is down. Bitcoin's down $103.61.
That's about 4% on the week. Bitcoin market cap chilling at just a little bit over 40 billion right now. So not a good week for Bitcoin, but not a catastrophic week, at least.
No,
as of this moment.
Another big dog out there, Ethereum, is at $284.21. That's down about $15.76 from last week. That's about a 5.25% change.
So Ethereum there chilling at about 26 billion market cap. Really consistent in performance with Bitcoin there. Bitcoin down 4, Ethereum down 5. So just a general retreat for our top two coins this week.
You were telling me you were noticing some really close correlations on their charts at certain points, right?
Yeah, when Ethereum was in the middle of crashing to like $200, you could even see on the 1 minute chart really strong correlation between like Bitfinex and the GDAX Ethereum USD, which was interesting to see. Not something I'd ever really noticed before, and I don't think that is the normal case in the normal market. So it was really interesting to see them kind of crashing and bouncing back in sync.
Right.
Of course, Ethereum was at a greater magnitude then, and still kind of is in terms of the magnitude of the price changes. So yeah, that's what's going down with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So now let's take a look at the rest of the top 100 altcoins.
Yeah.
This list does include Ethereum. But of the top 100 alts, only 12 of them were up this week versus US dollar. Rough.
Oof. That's a little different than we like.
Yeah, that's not what we've been used to the past couple months. But versus Bitcoin, only 15 are up. So vast majority of coins are down this week in the top 100.
Yep.
Taking a look at the overall change, the top 100 index, it's down about 10% versus US dollar, down about 9% versus Bitcoin. So just top altcoins are not just losing ground with Bitcoin, but they are losing ground faster than Bitcoin and Ethereum at this point.
Yep.
We also have the median change here in the top 100, minus 18.8% versus US dollar. That is one of the largest losses we've ever seen on that median. Usually the median losses are a little bit more muted.
Yeah, usually there's at least a couple big winners that help drag everything back up.
Yeah, and then a couple of big losers that kind of weight the other side down. So the median can be a little bit more modest. But this week, a huge loss. So that's going to be rough, I think, for a lot of traders.
Down, down, down.
But, of course, we're still up a ridiculous amount on the year. I think everybody knows that.
Yeah, you zoom out a little bit and it looks a little better.
Exactly. Go back to the 1 or 2 month chart and it starts to not seem quite as terrible. But
not a great week there.
Yeah, this week, at least in the numbers, definitely a lot of red.
Taking a look at some specific gainers and losers. On the gainer side, we got Gnosis up 61%. Etherroll up 42%. AntShares up 39%. vSlice up 31%. And Pivx up 25%.
So some nice gainers there. Over on the losers side, we got Numeraire. They're down 57% this week after a really ridiculous showing last week. We got Pure Plays down 47%, Earthcoin down 44%, Matchpool is down 40%, and Omni down 38%.
All right. As far as like coins that dropped out of the top 100 this week, those would be Matchpool, Expanse, Luckchain, Mooncoin, IOCoin, eDinar Coin, WorldCoin, and Digital Note.
So those are the coins that had dropped out of the top 100. As far as coins that replaced them and jumped into the top 100, we've got here Status, Bancor, Funfair, Agoras tokens, Token Card, Storage, Quantum, and Supernet. Interesting to see SuperNet popping back in there. That's kind of surprising. Status and Bancor makes sense. Huge ICOs. Not surprising that they would.
SuperNet's only traded on the NXT exchange right now.
Is
I'm
it
pretty
really?
sure. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's dope. All right. Yeah, interesting numbers this week. Those gainers and losers just really tell the tale. Usually we're used to the biggest loser being in like the 30 to 20% loss range, and the gainers being in like the 1 to 200% range. This week our biggest gainer, Gnosis, only up 61%. And biggest loser, Numeraire, down 57%. That's huge. Well over half of its value. So you think about, you're down 50%. You need to get like a 225% gain the next week to offset a loss like that.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. But so far, a rough week for the top 100.
Yeah, so that was the top 100.
Yep.
Just for a little bit of perspective, the lowest market cap in that list would be 10.8 million.
Right, so the range there, 10.8 million all the way up to 26 billion. It's a pretty big spread there on the top.
Yeah.
So next we're going to jump into the top 100 to 200 coins. So this is basically the next 100 coins in the coin market cap top list. In this set, the lowest cap is 3.2 million. So the range here, about 10 million to 3 million.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting that the 200th coin now has a market cap of 3 million.
Right. It didn't used to be that way, did it?
So here we go. What's going down with the 100 to 200 ranked coins? We got this coin index is down this week about 12% versus US dollar, down about 11% versus Bitcoin. So we're actually seeing...
That's more down.
Yeah, this list underperformed the top 100.
Yep.
That's not... If you think about it, Ethereum only down 5% has a huge effect on the top 100.
Right.
And so the kind of Ethereum was dragging that index up a little bit. We're seeing this... So I would say, like, if you just looked at all the other alts, that's probably pretty consistent with what the top 100
That's interesting,
is
yeah.
doing.
This list does not have its own Ethereum.
Yep,
at
exactly.
all.
Yep. Some of the coins that would be on this list, towards the top of the range is Radium, Token, Shift, Token as a Service, Nexium, kind of towards the top. Towards the bottom of this list, you have stuff like Incent, Sequential, Gridcoin, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Or no, that's GCR. That's different. That's Global Currency Reserve. But at any rate, as far as how this list is doing, so we see that it's performing about the same as the top 100, down quite a bit. As far as the gainers and losers, Dubai Coin, up 126%.
Oh, yeah, that actually, we noticed that one was up.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It kind of made me laugh to see Dubai Coin.
Yep, still out there.
Still
Agorist
there.
Tokens was up 86% on that list, and SibCoin was up as well, 57%.
Losers on this list, Merge Coin lost 96%. What? I don't think that's right.
That can't be right. Maybe it is. But maybe it was one of those weird spike things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was probably where it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
somebody pumped it on a weird exchange.
Yeah,
market.
Fedora Coin was down 60%, and Jin down 43%.
All right, interesting. So we're seeing there top 100 to 200, pretty similar to the top 100. So let's take a look at how the top 200 to 300 coins did.
Okay.
On this list, we had, once again, the vast majority of them down. Only 17 out of 100 up versus US dollar.
Yep.
Only 22 up versus Bitcoin. So
Just not looking much better.
not looking much better. Actually, a little worse on this one.
And the lowest cap on this one would be $700,000. So this ranges from about $3 million to $700,000.
Interesting. Yeah, some coins on this list would be like APX Ventures towards the top. Towards the bottom, Influx, Tokes. Looking at the overall change on this one, we got minus 15% versus US dollar. So this is actually down even more than the other two.
Yep, it only got worse.
So yeah, we're seeing no refuge in lower caps right now, at least if you look at it on a really broad sense.
Right. Within those broader contexts, there are specific gainers again. You could have looked at No Limit Coin, up 90%. Sphere, up 90%. HTML Coin, up 100%.
Right on, nice. The losers, Sprouts down 70%, Dime Coin down 67%, UFO Coin down 60%. So those are huge hits there too for the losers. We're seeing a little bit higher volatility. The gainers are gaining a little more. Losers are losing a little more than we saw in the higher indexes, which is something that you might expect.
Yeah, I think you would.
But yeah, overall, once again, just a rough week for these coins as well.
Let's go deeper.
Let's go. Let's dive in. All right. So now we're looking at the top 300 to 400 coins.
The lowest one on this list has a $23,000 market cap, and the highest is about 700,000.
So yeah, we're really getting into the weeds with some of these coins. The list includes stuff like New Shares, EFL, Draco. Or towards the high range. Towards the low range, you have stuff like Jules, Gaia,
CryptoJacks.
some basically dead coins, which is pretty funny. 8-bit. All right, so how are these coins doing? Versus USD, 31 of them out of 100 are up, and about 35 out of 100 are up versus Bitcoin. So these are actually, this is the best performing list that we've seen.
Best performing list so far.
That's funny. And that's interesting to see on a broad basis, just looking at every single low-cap coin, because a lot of low-cap coins, they're just kind of, they start out destined for the zero value mark.
Yeah, a lot of them are just heading straight for it, like it's like they're in a hurry.
Yep, exactly. So interesting to see that this is the best performing index of the week here. The change was down about 5.7% versus US dollar.
Okay.
Let's see. I wonder the median change on this list still about -10. So pretty much no matter what you were holding, chances are it went down, which is, just one of those weeks.
You're going to see some extreme numbers in the gainers section
I don't
here.
think this one's right.
No.
The gainers, Bitcore up 40,000%.
That doesn't sound right.
No, I think that's one of those. I actually checked this chart on Cryptopia because I was curious, and the Bitcoin chart was really normal. So it must have done.
Oh, yeah.
They must have spiked it up, or somebody made a huge buy on like one of the
Litecoin or Doge markets.
Yeah, exactly. Something. So that's just one way coin market cap numbers can get messed up sometimes, I guess.
Yeah.
But some other gainers in this list: XP up 300%, Coin up 272%. Nice job, Dot.
That sounds real.
It's true. It is real.
On the other side, Deep Web Cash down 83%, Jules down 78%, and Master Swiss Coin down 70%.
Interesting to see more confirmation of the higher volatility on these lower caps. These were by far the biggest gainers and by far the biggest losers of any of the indexes this week as well.
Yep.
Pretty cool stuff. Once again, the lowest cap on that list was $23,000 with Jules.
All right. So that kind of summarizes a couple different segments of the altcoin market ranked by market cap.
Yeah, interesting stuff. You saw Bitcoin and Ethereum down about 5%. The rest of altcoins, the rest of the top 300 altcoins down about 10 to 15%. And then a little bit of light when you got down into the much lower caps. Those were only down about 5%.
Yeah. If
Cool
you had
stuff.
a really good week, I'd consider yourself very lucky.
Yeah, good point. We also like to take a look at how the Ethereum tokens are doing.
Yeah, that's another nice segment of tokens that's kind of becoming relevant.
Those little old ETH tokens, well, this might not surprise you. They also are way down this week. Our Ethereum token index down about 13.5% versus US dollar.
So
Rough.
a lot like the rest of the top 100.
Yep, exactly. Median change there, -15. Once again, pretty rough. Gnosis, the big gainer. Numerai, the big loser. No surprises there, really.
Nope. And no new coins added this week to that list.
Yep, we'll update it again next week. So taking a look at the big picture here, altcoins this week are at 56.8 billion total market cap. That's a 10.6% decline from last week's 63.5 billion total.
And that brings Bitcoin dominance to 41.8%, which is up about 1.6% from last week.
Nice.
Ethereum, on the other hand, is at about 46.9% dominance, and that is up 2.4%.
Yep, that number is the percentage of all altcoins that the Ethereum market cap covers. So gaining back a little ground. It was up around 50% a couple weeks ago.
So both of them gaining back market share despite their declines.
Yeah,
price.
exactly. Yep. Bitcoin and Ethereum declining slower than the average, therefore gaining some market share. Funny stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of doom and gloom out there this week. I don't know if you noticed, but I think a lot of people are gearing up for the bear market. What do you think?
I'm bullish still.
Nice.
Got
I
my
like it.
horns on.
I'm not gonna lie. I hedged a little bit. That's what people are calling it lately, hedging. Definitely not just market dumping. It's this is strategic.
It
stuff,
sounds sophisticated.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, cool stuff.
I really can't wait to see what this week has in store. I'm really curious. It feels like, we're always on the edge, but
Even more on the edge.
We're exactly reaching the edge.
Yeah, I like it.
Still.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. This week's going to have a lot to say about where these markets are headed, and I'm really excited to take a look at all of these numbers next week.
One thing that we don't see is Bitcoin stay stable for long. We've never experienced that for more than a week or two. And as this sort of up and down stuff gets smaller and smaller, and we get less and less change on a weekly basis, I know it's got to go somewhere, right?
Right. Good point.
That or one Bitcoin's worth $2,500 forever.
That's just how it rolls.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. What's next? Oh, we're going to do a little something we call the dot giveaway.
Ah, yes.
Hot dog.
We're going to give away 10,000 dot to one person who can answer a question and send us the answer through Twitter.
That's right. Everybody loves those dots. So the way you win, you tweet us at Chain Dynamics with your answer to the question and your dot address. If you're the first person to get it, you get the dot. You have to get the question within the live show. So once this live recording is over, if nobody has gotten it, then the contest is over, and we will roll the dot into next week's giveaway.
Right.
So just kind of crank up the jackpot that way.
I think I got a pretty tricky question this week.
Ooh, all right, let's see it.
So I would like to know the name of the blockchain that has a Genesis date stamp of 133930 on November 30th, 2015.
Whew, that's a tough question. All right. I'm curious to see if anybody gets this. This is funny.
Yeah, I was curious if anyone would have a clever way to kind of get back to that information.
You tried to stump them with the microphone question, and people got that. So
right.
We're cranking up the difficulty here.
So let me give you those numbers again. What is the name of the blockchain that has a Genesis date stamp of 133930 on November 30th, 2015?
Good stuff. All right. And once again, tweet that over to @ChainDynamics.
Good luck.
Alrighty, here's what's going to happen next. We decided to revisit the random coin segment.
It's been a while since we drew a random coin, and a lot of the coins in the top 100 have actually changed since then. We were kind of almost feeling like we were going to start running into the same coins too much, so here we are.
Boom, we're doing a random coin again. This is fun stuff, man. I'm digging the random coin again. This week, the roll of the dice, it was like number 57 or something. We ended up on Asch.
ASCH is how they spell that one.
This one's interesting because I've been seeing it popping up in some of the rankings, and I've been like, what is this coin? I don't know what this coin is.
Right. So
the coin is Asch, ASCH. I believe the ticker is XAS.
Yeah, and one of the reasons that we've been seeing it pop up is its increase in price, apparently. And also, It hasn't been on CoinMarketCap that long.
Right, so
since April.
This is a Chinese-based DApp platform. So they're comparing themselves to Ethereum, as you might expect. But I guess the main selling point is that they have JavaScript,
Mm-hmm.
JavaScript as the development language. So the smart contracts and stuff would be coded in JavaScript, which that really kind of sounds like Lisk to me, I guess. I think that's maybe the most similar.
Yeah.
So maybe if AntShares is supposed to be the Chinese Ethereum, I think that maybe Asch is trying to be the Chinese Lisk, I guess.
Sure.
And the timelines line up, too. They started this thing, ICO, in May 2016. They raised about 1,800 Bitcoins, which is pretty normal for back then. Pretty small by today's standard, interestingly. But
yeah, I wonder if things would be different just from if they started now, you know?
Yeah. One of the things I did like about this coin, the website www.ash.so, is actually pretty nice. It'll bring you up to the Chinese page first, but it's pretty easy to find the English language selector.
Yeah.
And as far as coin websites go, it's actually got a surprising amount of good content.
Yeah, we really appreciated they had a timeline that just kind of gave the history of the coin, which is great.
Yeah, really in-depth timeline. And it's a really nice thing because it kind of shows, they had stuff like the incremental version updates and that kind of stuff. It's all really useful to see, what the level of development and progress on a coin is, so I got to give them a shout for that.
Have you ever traded on Juby?
No, I haven't. So this thing's only traded on Juby, which do you have it up? I've never even tried. I don't. Can you even register for those exchanges without a Chinese identification? I'm not sure how that all even works.
I'll see if I can even find an English button right offhand.
Yeah, good call. So anyway, it's only traded on Juby, so I guess for a lot of our listeners, that's not going to be very useful because you're not going to have any way to trade it. But I wouldn't be surprised if it pops up on Bittrex like AntShares did.
Who knows?
As far as how the coin's doing, so it raised 1,800 Bitcoins and 479,000 won in about May 2016. They launched the mainnet in August of 2016. And the current market cap is 46 million. So that's about 46 times the ICO price.
Wow.
They auctioned off 75% of the chain, so 25% of the chain remained for the coin development, those classic development costs.
So, are there any like Chinese apps for it?
Yeah, that was the thing that I was kind of hoping to see, and I couldn't find a single thing.
Yeah.
So that's always annoying. Like,
there's some barriers to that information for us too, I guess. Still,
yeah, it's tough to see. But also, I'm also not aware of any apps for Lisk either at this point. Have you heard of any apps coming out for Lisk yet?
I don't know.
So anyway, yeah, they're doing fine. The ICO price was about 2,600 satoshis. If you're wondering, current price about 23,000 satoshi. So a lot of that market cap gain just comes from Bitcoin having gone up so much since 2016. But I did also check out the white paper. It's got a strong emphasis on kind of blockchain speed and performance, throughput, that kind of stuff, which is cool to see, but it was also light on specifics. And as we mentioned, I wasn't able to find any tokens or applications that are actually using the platform yet.
Yeah, I'm definitely not finding any easy, like, switch to English button here on Juby offhand, so...
It's also a DPoS for the consensus, so proof of stake, which is a little lame because a good way, if you're in, if you're looking at some of these Chinese market coins, if they have proof of work, a really great way to be able to get them without having to access the Chinese exchanges is just to try to mine them. And so it's a little bit sad that it's going to be pure proof of stake. You won't be able to get any that way.
That's true. Cool. Well, that's an interesting random coin.
The coin there is Asch. A-S-C-H.
A-S-C-H.
Cool stuff, man.
With that, we will move into the new coins.
All right. We always love new coins. How many coins we got this week?
So last week we had 4 non-ICOs, which it seemed like not very many. And we mentioned 22 different ICO names. This show, we're going to talk about 15 non-ICOs, and we're also going to mention 15 ICOs.
All right, so shitcoins are up and ICOs are down. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, let's dive in here.
Let's get going.
I haven't had a chance to pre-review these, so this will be fun. I'm just going live here.
All right, well, first up is BogCoin.
Alrighty, BogCoin.
This is a meme coin based on some French twin brothers. As far as the coin, it's a 1% pre-mine SHA-256 wallet builders coin, so that's not too special.
The tagline is, yes, another fucking meme coin.
There is no pools and only one post in the thread, so...
Ooh, not looking good. That's too bad. All
On
right.
we go.
I guess what do you expect with a clone coin? Probably a huge pre-mine. Did you say that already?
1%.
1%.
But it's, you know how they can kind of...
Yeah, it's ultra long pow.
So next up is ThermoCoin.
ThermoCoin. Sweet.
They got that real generic Bitcoin description copy and pasted in here.
Oh,
They got the big pre-mine. They've got the high interest. We've seen too much of these lately.
Yeah, pretty boring stuff. They do have a nice thermal image of a cat here, so that's cool, I guess. But yeah, obviously they copy paste the description. That's not a good sign.
Up next, Yjenco.
Yjenco Coin. This one is spelled Y-J-E-N-C-O.
Right.
Yjenco. Oh, nice. We got a Bitcoin garden announcement here. I like that.
Yep.
Sweet. That just means that it was announced on the Bitcoin Garden forum instead of the Bitcoin Talk forum.
Yeah, I don't always check for those ones, but he posted it. He kind of cross-posted it, so that was helpful.
Cool stuff. All right, what's the deal here with Yjenco?
You're not going to find anything too special, honestly.
All right, we got a really, really washed out generic logo. That's always fun. It looks like we got SHA-256 mining. Seeing a few of those lately.
Yeah, that's probably the SHA and Script are like most of the coins coming out right now.
All right, it's got that 20,000 block proof of work, man. That's a nice 2-week mining period. People like that.
Yep.
What do we got here? They used to, I guess. It's not as a lot of these coins haven't been doing so well lately.
It's got some it's got some super blocks, which is kind of fun for miners sometimes. If you can manage to be the one that hits it.
And they're not random too, so you can try and game it. Like you can.
Yeah, they're scheduled.
You can crank a bunch of nice hash onto the pool near the super block interval, and then you'll get way more. That's actually kind of a fun way to mine.
Yeah.
if you got a lot of time on your hands and you want to up your margins, doing those kind of weird mining plays is a good way.
It's actually a lot of fun too if you have that time for it.
Yeah, and then you nail the
Mess
block
around.
and you feel like a badass. It's cool. It's cool stuff. All right. So let's see here. Looks like about 10 million total.
It says max supply is 1 billion, but they might be talking including proof of stake stuff.
Yeah, that's usually just that max money parameter, which isn't accurate. Usually, whenever somebody says that max supply thing on a proof of stake coin, you kind of know they're they're full of shit because
They're proof of shit there.
yeah, proof of shit. Because the proof of stake protocol doesn't respect that parameter. It doesn't reference it in any way. You know, it's just going to keep staking coins.
Okay.
So that is what it is.
That's Yjenco.
Yeah. You know, this one looks all right to me. It's just a good old-fashioned coin. Probably not going to do anything special, but...
If it didn't have a pre-mine, then it would just be so fun.
Oh, it does have pre-mine? What's the pre-mine? Where'd you see that?
Let me see. If I
Oh,
can find it.
1.5 million for developers.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a little rough.
Like, if you just
Oh.
leave that out, that's the part that I just don't... I mean, I get it, though.
Well, you know, once again, the pre-mine, I'm not against the idea of pre-mines as an abstract concept, but when it's just a low-effort clone that doesn't really make any promises beyond that, then you're like, all right.
There's some steps that some teams take to, like, secure the pre-mine and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense, yeah.
Get it in some kind of known address, have a schedule for it, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
When you see that, it's a pretty good sign. When you don't, then you got to wonder.
All right, on to the next one.
Here we go.
This one is called DAS. Kind of a boring name. They're saying that's
Indeed.
decentralized and security.
There's an MS Paint logo, too. It's pretty rudimentary stuff, but that doesn't always matter.
This actually is a Dash clone,
Okay.
so that's
Hey.
something different than we've seen on the reg,
We're seeing them like every couple of weeks we get a Dash clone.
especially with the sort of masternode excitement.
Yep.
This one has a lot of the exact same stats as Dash, including 1,000 coins for a masternode. So this would have been awesome to be right at the beginning of,
Right.
due to the way the block reward is being calculated. The first blocks had like 500 DAS in them, and the new ones don't because the difficulty's gone up, and there's like a proportional relation between them or something.
For sure. Yep. It also has a pre-mine.
Yep.
So, but yeah, like you said, this could be a really fun kind of thing to insta-mine. Probably going to be best for those X11 FPGA owners, but...
Someone also pointed out in the thread that this dev has another project that they had abandoned due to technical issues that they couldn't or wouldn't fix. So
All right, good
that
stuff.
wasn't super great, but
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty copy-paste stuff. Just copying the Dash algorithm straight up is a little odd because...
it's also, I don't know if you noticed that it's just one letter off from saying Dash.
The coin?
DAS.
Oh, nice. I did not even put that together. It's a
Yeah.
good point.
So it's really just a Dash clone, but
It seems like they're actually trying to confuse people into thinking it's Dash in a way.
maybe somebody would think that.
All right.
So not great, but I just like seeing something that's not the exact same. So that's interesting.
Good point.
Up next is Future Gold.
Future gold. I'm tired of all this present gold.
Yeah, it's too heavy.
Yeah, exactly.
This
Get
Future
out
Gold,
of here.
though, it has a 16% pre-mine and
Ooh.
super fast staking parameters. So this dude has probably been staking the crap out of this coin.
Looks like they're bravely going to...
99% super stake with one block maturity.
What?
Yeah.
One confirmation.
One confirmation,
Oh my God.
one block maturity, 99% stake, 16% pre-mine. You don't really need to do the math.
That's a little rough. That's a little rough. 30,000 block proof of work with one confirmation. That seems risky in the modern proof of work climate to me.
Yeah. So that one's Future Gold. Some kind of
Alrighty.
crazy parameters. Kind of fun to see. Up next is Durer Coin. This has a really broken
Durer.
description. I understand that English is a lot of people's second language, and my intention isn't to make fun of those people at all. But let me just read you one of these sentences because this is pretty great. It says, cryptocurrency peer-to-peer and instant generates different type of coins through mining the machine.
It helps people to earn as much as their thrust by lunching different type of coins.
Lunching. He said
Yeah,
that says lunching different
Yeah,
types of
right.
coins.
It's just,
Anyways,
it's sloppy.
it's just there's not a lot of attention to detail, and it's fun to read, honestly.
Well, if there was something else that was cool about it, I would be willing to tolerate some pretty... I can tolerate some pretty poor English, but if it's just a copy-paste coin, then...
I can definitely tolerate it too. Like I said, I would call this description broken, and I would
Yep.
say the 20% pre-mine is what kills the coin for me.
All right, Durer Coin, you're out.
Up next is a coin called ShitCoin.
ShitCoin, not the first coin to be called ShitCoin. So
None of them have made it anywhere, though.
it's true. This is I recognize this name in the post here. He's a guy who's made other shitcoins before.
Yeah.
He had a Yobit IPO at one point,
Oh,
just
great.
to put some perspective on it. But I remember the IPO. I actually mined this because I still had an SHA ASIC at this time when it launched. So I mined his IPO coin, and it was fine.
Okay, so this coin, ShitCoin, is an SHA-256 coin, has 12% proof of stake, has the pre-mine and all that good stuff. I guess
Enough to dump.
it's slightly entertaining because it's written differently.
Yeah.
Like, he's making some jokes about it being called ShitCoin and stuff, so...
It's a tongue-in-cheek, another tongue-in-cheek coin. We've seen a couple of these lately, just kind of joking, haha, I'm going to pre-mine and sell
Looks
it.
like he's giving out free shit, too, if you want any. Up next is 700 Coin.
700 coin.
Looks like somebody's just enjoying these kind of absurd staking parameters this week, because this one's got the 700% staking.
There we go.
So that'll,
They're generously going to be staking that pre-mine as well. I'm sure of that.
yeah.
So yeah, big pre-mine.
Looks like they tried to give away some of it or something, but I don't know.
Just a generic coin here.
Just a generic coin with a very lopsided distribution at the beginning. Up next is Dorf Coin.
Dorf. All right.
This is a coin that is sort of celebrating the computer game Dwarf Fortress. Have you ever played that, Brando?
I never have. It's actually probably something that would be right up my alley, but
Yeah.
I've never. Apparently, that's a pretty steep learning curve.
It does.
That I've never sought to.
I launched it like once, and the learning curve was steep enough that I got nowhere.
All
I
right.
didn't feel like figuring it out, but it looks really fun. This coin isn't like directly. They're like I want to point out that they're not going to like try to integrate it into the game. They're not saying anything like that at this
Yeah.
point. But
It references it.
it references the
That's all.
game.
That's all. All they're promising to do is have references to Dorf Fortress.
Yeah. The coin itself, we're looking at a script coin this time. Mining rewards 20 coins per block. Really long retargeting. 2016 blocks.
Yeah, this is an actual. This is like a Bitcoin fork without any improvements. I think it's actually a direct Litecoin fork without any improvements, which is just not going to work. You cannot have a script coin with a slow difficulty retargeting in the modern day.
I wonder how the chain's even doing. Not a bunch of too much info here. Actually, there is some nice fun info to read about, but there's nothing like about the coin itself that will help.
Yeah, I suspect this chain is broken.
Who knows? Maybe we'll see the next big Dorf coin move soon.
Yeah, that's Dorf Coin, new this week.
Up next, Litecoin.
Litecoin.
Everybody wants those likes these days, and now they can get them in
Right.
digital format. Actually, coin format. But I got to say, this is kind of not an inspired idea. Like, there's been a lot of coins that have taken the tipping angle, and I feel like some of them have done it really well.
Right.
And kind of came up with entire communities based around that. So I'm not sure what this one will generate as far as a community around it.
It's also a 50% pre-mine on this one.
It's got a huge pre-mine.
They have a portion to the pre-mine, sort of, so that's better than some, but still looks like a bit of a cash grab here. I'm not liking it.
So the final proof of work coin this week that we're going to mention is WolfgangAmedeausMozart coin.
WolfgangAmedeausMozart coin.
I think somebody was literally like, well, this guy doesn't have a coin yet. So the coin itself is, once again, just what we've seen 100 times. Big pre-mine, small block reward. Not much going on.
All right, fun list of crap here this week. Nothing too exciting. I did everything had a pre-mine, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, not much to see, I would say. If you're going to look at anything, Yjenco, decentralized, and security, DAS, maybe.
Maybe.
And not a lot to check out this week, I guess.
I think like with that one, it would have been sweet to already have a master node set up if you got the first 2 blocks or whatever. Cause
Yeah, seriously.
At this point, it takes you way more to get that node.
That's a good point.
So
All right.
there's also one airdrop worth mentioning maybe this week.
All
Even
right.
though the airdrop's done. This was called Slevin, and it was done what they were called a raffle airdrop, which essentially means that they get to pick who gets the airdrop if you think about it. But
I don't see any way that could go
yeah,
wrong.
but so maybe some people got it and some people didn't. I can see some of both posting in the thread.
These can be fun to trade, these quick airdrops.
It was only distributed to 700 addresses, so that's pretty small airdrop compared to what we see sometimes, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Relatively small distribution.
Yeah, the 1,000 is the classic kind of generic airdrop number, so this is a little bit less. A little bit of a new way to conduct the airdrop, but coin itself, of course, is about as generic as you would expect. But yeah, sometimes these airdrops can be fun to play.
Yeah, if you're there right when it's kind of available and you get in, then hey, free coins.
Sweet.
How about some coins that fall into our other category?
Some coins just don't fall into any normal category.
Up first is BoobsCoin.
BoobsCoin, all right.
This is the first proof of BoobsCoin.
Interesting.
Now, Brandon, basically what that means is the dev needs women to expose their breasts for coins.
Of course.
He's actually put quite a bit of thought into it.
Yeah, this is, in a weird way, this is the highest effort post of the week. That's pretty funny.
It kind of looks, even though it's a really funny idea, he looks pretty serious, I guess, and looks like he's going to try to distribute the coin and has a lot of really specific details about how he's going to prevent fraud, like people photoshopping the stuff and submitting other people's boobs, for example.
He's very concerned with the authenticity of these of boob photos.
I don't think that this project is operational currently, though.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not quite sure. So that was part that I wasn't quite understanding. He talks in some points about there being validators. So after the woman shows her breasts and gets somebody has to validate the picture. That's the validator.
Okay.
And then everybody gets paid. So
all right.
It sounds too good to be true. I don't know, man.
I don't anticipate there being a very strong secondary market for this, but
this is by far the most detailed post this week so far.
It's pretty funny that this is by far the most energy put into this coin of anything this week.
So we'll see.
All right, weird stuff. That was BoobsCoin.
Up next is a Waves asset called Digitas. What is there really to say about this? They give you very little information. They just this is how many coins there are.
It is a Waves asset. There
are 10 million of them.
They're coming fast and furious, these Waves tokens.
So,
all right. Digitas.
Another Waves token that came out this week was Durer Coin.
Durer Coin.
This one had a funny line in it too that I wanted to read because they said that they're going to promote teddy bear culture, which I'm not super familiar with. So I'm kind of curious to maybe get more into that world.
Teddy bear culture. That's a little odd.
Once again, aside from being a Waves token, what do you say, right?
Right. Yeah, it's out there.
This one's to promote teddy bear culture. That's what it's for. So that'll strike somebody in the right way.
Yeah, if you're into that crew that I didn't know even existed prior to this moment.
I had a lion instead of a bear, so maybe that's my problem.
Lion culture.
Yeah, I'm into stuffed lion culture.
Yeah, that makes sense. See, that seems real to me. I get that. All right, the coin there, Durer Coin, and it's just another Waves token.
I'm just going to roll off of some ICOs. ACT, GeoFounder, Orexon, Pillar, DimCoin, Encryption, TasteChain, InvexCoin, Digital Developers Fund, Securavast, Shares Per Hour, Centigraph, Allowance Network, Target Coin. All right, so let's look back through those new coin postings this week and see if anything stands out.
I'm just going to say it. Best coin this week is Slevin, which isn't a strong endorsement.
For me, it's BoobCoin.
No, all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really weird idea, but yeah, I don't know. He put some thought into it.
It's true. It's not just a copy-paste. He's got that going for him.
Not seeing anything worth mining, unfortunately.
That is entirely true. Unless you caught that Instamine on the DAS.
Yeah. All right. So
there you
that
have it.
concludes our section on the new coins.
Another thrilling week in the world of new coins. We'll see what happens next week.
And so we will now move into the coin listings.
Listings coming in hot this week.
Let's see here. Cryptopia. They listed Ecobit, JetCoin, and Minereum.
Cool.
Over on Bittrex, they listed...
I think that's Status Network Token, SNT.
Oh, thank you. They also listed Descent, Elastic Coin, and Monaco.
Over on Yobit, they added TLOSH, whatever that is.
That's TLOSH.
TLOSH. 420G, Solar, HYPERX, Ocean, ACRN, LBTC, Europe, and SOCC.
And then over on Novaexchange, they added Info, TDC, EGAME, COOC, THC, Fidget, EUUC, Sync, DNR, ACRN, IKON, and Phoenix.
Nice. That DNR is Denarius. That Carson
Oh,
Clock coin.
gotcha. Over on Livecoin, they listed Leo.
Yeah, okay. I swear to God they've had Leo, but whatever.
It might be, maybe it was just a new pair or something.
Yeah.
And then CoinExchange.io listed Dari, StackBit, Europe United, TurboCoin, Denarius, and Cyclone.
Looks like over on Liqui they added Status, Storage, Monaco, and ADX.
Cool. So big variety of listings all around here.
Yeah, listings coming in hot this week. I think Elastic's got to take the crown as far as.
It's an exciting listing.
Yeah, those guys have been waiting for so long. It's incredible. I thought it would be.
Had a lot of over-counter trading going on.
I figured that it would kind
good
of
volume on listing.
Yeah, I figured it would get crushed a little bit just because people have been waiting so long to sell this stuff, and it's trading like 30 times over the ICO price or something. But
right.
If you think about the overall broader market, it's actually just because everything has gone up so much that 30x gain isn't actually that mind blowing when you think about the time frame involved. And not that I would complain if I had some, but
no.
We are seeing the price hold pretty strong around that 30x range so far. It's very newly listed, though. I'm curious to see how it plays out.
Yeah. That is a good one to watch.
Elastic, for those who don't know, the premise of it competes with like Golem. They're trying to do and Sonam maybe. They're trying to do the global supercomputer thing. Alrighty, that is it for the listings this week.
Not a bad set. We like to wrap it up with celebrating some coin birthdays.
Heyo, coin birthdays.
And this week we're going to celebrate 2 coin birthdays. First up is a 1-year happy birthday to 808 Coin.
Happy birthday to 808 Coin.
That's the coin that celebrates the wonderful 808 drum.
I can't believe that coin is still alive. I actually remember when this came out and we did the first review of it. I think that was the first and last we ever spoke of it.
1 year in, it's sitting at about a 39 Bitcoin market cap. So that's on the low end, 94,000 USD.
Not bad, man. Not bad. Congratulations to 808 Coin.
3-year birthday. Happy birthday to Quatlu.
Quatlu, that's a big name.
They came out 6/25/2014. And now we're sitting at a market cap of 76 Bitcoins. That's about $183,000 now. And man, they've been going through rough times.
Yeah, it's been a hard few months for Quatlu. They're one of the proof of work chains that have been having difficulty with network attacks.
So they're down, but you know what? I never call a good coin out.
Never call a chain out, man.
Down but not out. So happy 3-year to Quatlu.
Congratulations to Quatlu. Alrighty, I think that is going to wrap it up here. Show number 69 of the Blockchain Dynamics Show.
Another interesting week.
Yeah, it's true. Don't forget, check out our website, blockchaindynamics.net. It's pretty cool stuff.
Also go check out Cryptopia. That's cryptopia.co.nz.
Yeah, you're definitely going to want to check out Cryptopia. Just a really nice little platform there. Ton of great coins. A lot of futures. Really fully featured exchange with a lot of other services. Interesting opportunities like term deposit. They have a fun clicking game. I mean, they really have a very broad spectrum of services over at Cryptopia, so we love that.
That's right. And I guess it'll be exciting to see how things are going next week. It's good talking to y'all. Error by Trial Radio. See you next week with heavier bags.
Peace.
Currency.
Like a couple Bitcoins.
Money,
Hold up on my Nakamoto.